Coach, if you just open up, talk a little bit about the game, and we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, well-coached Marian team. Excellent opportunity for us to evaluate ourselves playing against a team that was really disciplined in terms of running their offense. One of the things when you get into your exhibition season is you hope it just doesn't become a transition game up and down where you don't get anything out of it. And I thought our guys got a lot of work, having to be disciplined at the end of the clock. And I think you saw that in the beginning of the first half. Just a couple breakdowns right at the end of the last 4 or 5 seconds where they made some threes. And that's what we were really harping on at halftime is we had to apply a little bit more pressure to them. We had to make things a little bit harder for them and challenging shots and just making sure that we were, grinding away a little bit. Because when you play against that team, you're going to have to earn it on every possession. And, to their credit, I thought we consistently played pretty hard. Offensively, we're a work in progress. We're learning how to play with one another. There's new guys out there at all times learning a new system. And, I think for the most part, we were okay in the second half of our transition got going a little bit, and then we had some guys really start to step up and make some plays. And, Devontae, I know, is going to get a lot of the credit, but that's who he's been every day in practice. He does a little bit of everything for us, and I think you're starting to see a guy, if he just kind of stays with, it's going to be a very, very important player for us. And if you just look down the line, we got a lot of different types of contributions, and obviously having 2 other what I would consider guys in the rotation out for today. Hopefully we can get those guys back as we move into next Sunday. So, but a good opportunity for our guys. They're going to learn a lot from film.
Alex?
It seems like some of those shots they were making late, shot clock in the first half, the second half, those same shots weren't going down. How big is it for you to be able to bring fatigue to your team?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, our depth and our pressure, applying, pressure on the ball, being able to just, you want to be a team that can, wear another team down. And you'll see that, first 2 or 3 minutes, you guys get a couple good looks and they go in, and you just have to stay with it. You just have to keep preaching what you preach every day, and you have to get some, a little luck on a couple, long bounces. But I thought, some of the shots they made were tough. Second half, they didn't go down. Law of averages usually works out if you have a team taking, threes at the end of the clock almost every other possession down. So, but, we'll see. I'm anxious to actually watch the film because, they did a really good job of spreading us out and kind of moving us around and running us around. And just, it was a good test for us.
Zach?
There were a couple runs and turnovers there, like kind of 2 or 3 in a row, but it seemed like guys really stopped them quick and didn't let them kind of expand real fast. What maybe were guys doing in real time to cut down the turnovers when they were coming in little flurries there?
Well, I think, we did a better job. I thought we did a better job of playing out of the post as the game wore on. We still had, I think, 2 turnovers maybe in and around the post area. We have to get the ball deeper. You don't want to play against a loaded defense out of the post where you're not getting good touches. I think the second half we did a better job of getting it deeper in there. And then, I think Deron had a really good assist down there coming out of the post to Curtis for 3. He got a good post move down there as well. So playing out of the post was good. And the big thing is in transition, being organized with your spacing and making good decisions. We didn't connect on one screen tonight. And that's one thing that's obviously got to get corrected. We left, if you had 40 screens in the game, we probably had 35 misses. And that's going to be a big emphasis as we move into the next thing. If you miss screens and you don't execute, the chances of you having a good possession aren't good. But, we had 10 turnovers in the game, 17 assists, obviously very good. If you look at our guards, they kept it down. Justin, being in his first college game against somebody else, had 4. So, you're going to hope a freshman obviously is going to learn the ropes a little bit, and even Clifton, I think, had 1. So 5 of our 10 came from 2 freshmen in their first game. They'll get better.
Ken?
What encouraged you about what you saw out there tonight, and what made you concerned you a little bit?
I thought, our guys were bought in. I think our guys were trying to do exactly what we're asking them to do. And it's going to take some time for them to get the chemistry they need. But we know we're going to have to be a very, very hard-playing team. And I think the thing that's concerning is how we're going to score. If you're not making threes, if you're not scoring in transition, how are you going to score in the half court? And that's going to be something that we're going to have to, work at all the time. And we're going to have to continue to get better at it. But we're going to have to find a way to score in the half court. My hope is that we're a team that can shoot the ball, though. I think you got a glimpse tonight. There's multiple guys, I think, that can stretch the floor, and you had Al and Colin not in, who are both very good shooters. So I think being able to shoot the ball is going to be a big thing for us. But how we score in the half court against really good teams who don't let you score in transition, how's that going to be, is going to be the biggest concern. I think defensively, how many fouls can we absorb in the front court? You basically played Deron and Freddie a little bit in that what we would call the 5 slot, but you maybe need a third guy, and who's that going to be? You know, and being able to be bigger on the wing. I don't know if you can play 3 small guards against every opponent on our schedule. We may need to have Justin and move over to the left a little bit as well. So there's a lot of things concerning right now. I think the big thing for our team is to take this film, our staff, be able to teach them and get better this week as we head to Sunday.
Stuart?
Coach Devontae had the team highs in both points and assists, 22.7 assists. Just what were your thoughts on how he balanced creating opportunities for himself, but also creating opportunities for his teammates?
He had a really good overall game, but like I said, he's been doing that in practice. When Devontae's unselfish and he's making people better, his team always wins. You know, when Devontae isn't making guys better and he's thinking score a lot, his team doesn't win as much. And I think you saw a little bit in that second half. He made some really good easy reads, getting guys some easy baskets under the basket on pick and rolls, or if chase dribble, he dropped a little curl pass on the play. So, you know, he's a guy that is the best on our team at being able to sort of, you know, skip in that paint and get out and do some things. So he's going to be a big end-of-clock playmaking guard for us, I think, as the season goes. And that's where guys like Rob and Josh and those guys, I think, can benefit from him. They can get some shots.
Pete?
Archie, as you get through this, how comfortable are you in terms of how big a rotation? How many players would you like to?
That's a good question. You know, I think, you know, I've coached teams that played upwards of 11. I've coached teams that play 6. You know, I think right now we're trying to figure out, you know, who's going to be able to, you know, play in the games when they really, really matter. You know, and I think right now we're developing that. You know, you hope that Colin, being a 5th-year senior, is obviously going to get back in there, and we're going to need a 5th guard, getting Al back in there as well. But no doubt about it, we're going to have to find the rotation. I think part of it's going to be learning on the run. You know, who's playing well in the game? Who's doing some good things? Let them keep them in there. Keep their window open where they can, you know, sort of earn the right to maybe, you know, get some more trust out there. But it's definitely, we're flying right now just trying to figure some of that stuff out. And this is, like I said, this is another huge week for us to get to Sunday and play another team. How much better can we get, and how much more clear can we get on the rotation? But I think we're going to be on the field. In my opinion, I'll be on the field side of who's doing what in the game, and we'll kind of adjust to that.
Coach, experiencing your first game at Assembly Hall, any pregame nerves or pregame jitters?
Nah, you know, I'm not worried about that. I'm concerned about the game. I'm concerned about the team. And, you know, I think getting out there for the first time, once the jump ball goes up, you just become yourself. You don't really care where you're at anymore. But, yeah, getting your pregame routine, understanding sort of how it works here is a little different. You know, you've been somewhere for 6 years and you had your routine down. You knew exactly what you were doing every day. A little different. You know, I got to figure it out. But once the ball gets tipped, I sort of kind of just know what to do, I guess, when that happens.
Archie, what's impressed you about the freshmen so far? Not just tonight, but
Very coachable, very patient learners. None of them get, you know, they may get down on themselves a little bit, but they're not emotionally where you're dealing with young guys that are really shook confidence-wise. These guys have been very coachable, and they're trying their best to learn what we're trying to get them to do. And when you have if you have a player that is willing to learn and willing to go through it the hard way, then they're going to experience at some point in time some good moments. When, you know, that's all up to, you know, when they can find a way to become a college basketball player. You know, right now, you know, some of these guys ran out there the first time, it probably didn't even feel like basketball, you know, to be honest with you. They're not comfortable yet. But they're a great group. They learn. They're in the gym as much as anybody when practice is over. And I think that they're going to get better just because of their willingness to be coached and willingness to learn. There's no fight in them.
It seemed like a lot of the open looks they got in the first half were products of ball movement and pick and roll. How would you assess the way you guys play the pick and roll defensively, specifically the bigs?
I didn't think our ball screen defense was terrible tonight. You really don't know till you watch on film what we're going to get. But I think the big thing with us in ball screen defense is I thought our guards got beat. You know, we typically don't want to obviously get rejected or give up baseline drives as a ball screen's occurring because we don't have our help set up that way. And I thought probably 4 or 5 times we gave up threes in the first half because the man guarding the ball got beat in a straight line. And you get beat in a straight line, you converge, and then next thing you know, the ball's kicking around. And I think they got probably 3 or 4 threes off just getting beat off the bounce before the ball screen ever got there. I didn't think our ball screen defense was terrible. I thought guys, you know, looked the part on what we were trying to do, and you know, I think we just have to be more connected. We'll get better as we go. We're going to deal with more sophisticated you know, offenses and ball screens obviously coming down the line. But I like where we're at there.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.